What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Out here with the XO. Started getting some bars mocked up on this thing, got them welded on. There's definitely going to be a lot of fabrication in this video. Y'all stay tuned. Sitting here just looking at this again, how I was talking about chopping it right here at this little seam. Could go further back, but mainly just if I was to chop that, I don't really want it straight across. I'm thinking angle this a little bit further in, chop it little by little like I had to do with these. Alright, what I did was hold the bar up there to it. Just kind of mocked up a few different cuts that I could do to make it go into that. It's not a lot, but that's still, I don't know, really do not want to cut that. Instead of just lopping it off all the way across, and then this is just going to be a big spot, I think I'm going to cut down right there, cut at the bottom right there, take that piece out, and slowly grind away the top of this maybe, and just kind of work that a little bit till the bar actually is running kind of into this and then over to the bar, instead of just chopping all this off. I think that's at least worth the attempt, because if anything, I can just cut it off if it doesn't look that great, but I would rather it look best as possible. Can I pull that off? Who knows on that? We're gonna see though. Done started notching on that a little bit. It's not looking too bad. Just a little bit more. Same with down here. It's getting close. Little by little we'll get there though. I do need to watch my clearance on this. I do not want it against that rail. If I bring it out a little bit, it puts this further away, but it'll all work out. Alright, you can kind of see what we went from. Kind of looks like that. Now we got something like this, which is just rough cut. Nothing that great, but bar is fitting a lot better going from there. Done started notching the end of the bar. Slowly making progress. Started getting a little bit of paint off of that. Need to get paint off of there, but still dialing in this part right here. I honestly can't wait. Like I said, it's not too bad of a cut. It definitely needs to be cleaned up a lot, but that's not the final cut yet. And then the fun part is we're going to have to do exactly what we did to this side on that side. That part right there actually looks pretty good. We'll get all of that cleaned off tomorrow, start getting it ready for paint. Since I'm about to weld that pipe right there, might as well go ahead and paint it, get a good base coat on it. Back out here, it's the next day. Was gonna pull this thing out, but of course it's a rainy day, always my luck. But we're just gonna keep on getting this bar dialed in, clean this railing off. I have a lot I want to get knocked out today, so let's get to it. Start with getting this cleaned up and start chopping away on this. Alright, that didn't come out too bad. It looks a lot better. Way smoother, clean, ready for paint. Now I'm going to start notching on this bar. But check out, when I started actually blowing the stuff out of this, I got us a little present. It's nice. But let's get back at it. Obviously I'm going to fix this line though, because that looks awful. But we're getting very, very close. And then, like I said, we have to do it all to that side. Make it match. So that will be fun. But at least we'll have something to go off of. Because right now, just going little by little, trying to make sure everything stays where it needs to be. Over here is perfect. That's dialed in. Mainly just getting this cut right and having the bar close enough to be able to weld it good all the way around on this bar. I don't like No like big gaps or anything. I don't want none of that. Another area down below, I'm not sure how I want to do that. Might just leave it like that, but the bar going around, all of this is starting to look, I don't know. I have to figure that out. Plus, I don't think in any of my other videos I ever mentioned anything about these door bars. I got them on. They're nice and straight. They kind of flow with how I did the front end bar. They kind of go up. And you can see they kind of go over to the side where the side bars are. So that matched up pretty well. But still 1,000,002 bars in my head that I want to put on this thing. Alright, this is actually coming out not too bad so far. I mean, it reaches around, goes around to the bar. I just need to finish notching that, and then go and clean up all this. Alright, after about 50,000 cuts, everything is starting to look good. Just cut a little more right here. Like I said, I still gotta fix that line at the top, make it look nice. But everything's clearing. Notch is pretty decent. Still need to fix it just a tad. Same thing with this one. Still got my gap. That one ain't too bad. Still need to do a little on it. But finally, almost there. I swear, every time I look at stuff like this, it makes me sad. Cutting up this car, but at the same time, building it into something better than what it was. So, but once you chop up too much, you can't go back. So, glad I left a lot of this and just cut it right there. Instead of a lot of people I've seen cut all the way up through here and just have strut towers. They don't even have none of this right here. And I mean, a fender goes over that, so if I weld a bar going from there over to here, that'll be 1,000,000 times stronger than a fender is. Got the EXO pulled out here. I'm gonna turn it around so I can start getting to work on this side. Let's get this thing inside, starting to drizzle a little bit. Alright, now that everything is pretty much wet, not all the way, but just enough to be a pain. But anyways, we're gonna start cutting on this. Move my hood latch cable. I left it because I might end up using it later on for something. But move it, start chopping away, trying to make it match this side. This is the part I dread the most. The first cut. Just, I don't even know. Alright, before we get crazy with cutting, took tape measure, kind of looked at the other side. That'll be my line where how far back I went right there. Down here, kind of got me a baseline just to not go higher than that. The bar should come around just like the other side. Let's get this thing cut. Gonna be sad. Alright, now we have our first cut that looks awful. Now we need to make this mess resemble this. Should be fun. Been cutting a little bit. It's definitely getting close. Just a little bit more going down through that way at the bottom. Alright, taking a break from cutting and grinding on that. Doing 50,000 cuts. Since the cage was actually wet, went ahead and wiped it off. It looks 1,000,000 times better now. Just clean it up a little bit. Now, I guess either tonight or in the morning, gonna get started on getting that one the rest of the way done. and hopefully get these things welded on soon. I got here on an even more wet and rainy day, but gonna get the rest of this cut out. Just needs a little bit. That one will be done. Gonna start getting this one the rest of the way cut back. Don't need too much more. Fix this bottom area, get it a little bit further in. Then I'll probably start getting the bar notch that goes around right through here. Let's get to it. Alright, kind of got busy with cutting out on this side. I decided to go live and show a little bit. But anyways, this one's not coming out too bad. Still needs to be cleaned up a buttload. Especially around in here. I think I'm going to cut just a little bit more out. But bar is pretty dang close. Fitting pretty nice. Just sitting here looking at this big hole that I created. But I need to clean it up some more and do a little bit more notching right there. I have an idea for this whenever I get the pipe actually notched and put on there. Well, this ain't the right piece, this is just something I had laying around, but make something like this, weld it on, then the bar will run through here, because this used to be raised up. That's why I had to grind it down so far, pretty much create the hole. But make all that look nice. It won't matter having the hole there because there was already an OEM hole anyways, and there's a drain right there, so water getting down in there won't really matter. I think that would make it look a lot better than what it is. Alright, about 200,000 more cuts. This is finally sitting there, mocked up, perfect fit. Now, tomorrow I'm going to come over here, have to cut a little bit out on this side, just because on this side I had to cut a little bit more than this side, so I have to make this match. But other than that, love how that's looking. Alright guys, y'all don't understand how much cutting and mocking up has really went into this. Finally almost there with being done. We just need to get this bar to come in just a tad closer at the back side. But after that, she'll be done. We can tack these things on. Gonna get this part a lot closer. Definitely gonna have to notch way further into this to make that flush. Yeah, once we go deeper on the inside, then it'll bring the back closer to the bar. We're trying to make this gap a lot smaller, match the other side. Now I'm just gonna put some marks every inch because I kind of want to see where this bar is sitting. Make sure that it's gonna be in the same spot on the other side. Started sanding on this a little bit. About to get this primed. Started sanding on my bar some. Something right quick. For some weird reason, I don't know why, it just looks cool to me. Reminds me of Snowflake. But let's get this thing painted. Finally got a little bit of primer on there. We had painted a couple spots that just were bare from doing other things, but those that are new to primer, definitely helps if you've got any bare metal spots. If you want to keep them from rusting, which the door hinges on this, they've been rusting since I guess the day the car was made. So we fixed that for sure. This is all going to be painted black though, right here on the outside. Alright, what I did was just mist a little bit of black on it. Start letting that set and get tacky. Then we can start going back and actually making it a lot darker. That's how I always do my paint jobs. They come out pretty good, but everybody's different. But we'll see the end results here in a minute. Slowly out here putting coats on that little by little. Hoping I can get both sides done. at least tonight, and then tomorrow we could at least get these things tacked on. Who knows, I might end up wanting to do it tonight. Let's see what happens though. I'm thinking and hoping that this is the part in the build where everything looks like a disaster. Once these front bars are on, these are painted. Still got to do the front piece. I swear, it feels like we're close, but think about it and then we're not. But get all of this stuff cleaned up, it'll start coming together. Because right now it's starting to look like it's going backwards. But when you go backwards, it usually comes out nicer after you're done. Alright guys, power went out, but we got this thing all painted up. I think it looks fire. That came out pretty dang good. Like I said, might end up undercoating it later on, but now that that's done, get this bar put on here. Alright, let's see if I can do it without scratching everything to pieces. Alright, got a lot of that hand sanded and sanded with the sander. Now I'm going to go ahead and prime all that section, and then we can start working on the side. I've done started cleaning it off, it just needs to be sanded. Then we can spray it prime and then black it out. Got both sides primed now. This one came out pretty nice. So got that knocked out. That side's knocked out, done been painted. It looks good. Start looking at some options with fixing that. Get these bars tacked on. Out here, finally a better day now. This side's looking pretty good. Barely see it. Started sanding a little bit on the cage edge. Got this one all cleaned up last night. Got it primed. Started sanding on this bar a little bit. Gonna prime it too. But now to hand sand this back down with the Scotch-Brite. Get it painted black. Get the two pipes cleaned, primed. Go ahead and paint the insides of those. And I think I'm gonna tack these on today. Alright, got these bars all cleaned up, smooth, wiped off. Now after a little bit of measuring, cutting, got us a plate. I would show you it with the bar, but just primed it, but the bar will come around and hide the rest of all of that, which it doesn't matter, like I said, because OEM, it's always open. It's got holes on the top, drains at the bottom, so it doesn't really matter that there's still a hole there. Just trying to make the front of it look a little better. I started shaping up the plate, went ahead and got some tacks on that thing. I think I'm gonna leave it like that, because I can always weld more on it later on once the bar's on there. I think I'm gonna just for now go ahead and prime this. But that came out pretty nice. It'll look a lot better once the bar's there. And it's painted, of course. Alright, now I'm just busting out things. Got that tacked on, got it painted. Done went ahead, got this side sanded down and painted also. So it's done. Now I'm just waiting for the bars to dry. Done sprayed them white. After that, weld these things on. Now I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and get these paint places off where the bars are going to sit at. Go and get those nice cleaned up, prep. Get ready to tack these things on. We'll have to get the car level, make sure everything is nice and both flow perfectly the same. Now one thing, if that paint don't dry on them pipes soon, I ain't going to be able to weld these things today. But got the car leveled out. Now just waiting on that paint to dry. Has a couple things come in for what I was talking about. I'll give y'all a little sneak peek. If y'all know what this is, then y'all kind of know what's about to happen. That's all you get to see. That's all you get to see. Always cutting it close. Got just a little bit of daylight left. Let's get these things tacked on finally. guys, I don't know how I did it, but I got both of these things on here and they're actually perfectly in the right spot. Perfectly. Both just tacked up, but they're finally on there. Finally. Now I'm about to weld up these things all the way around on all four of them. Be a step closer. Alright, sadly the camera died, but started getting a lot more welds on these. They're about all the way done. Just a little bit more, then those will be finished up. Get those sanded and primed right there on the ends. Gonna have to pull this thing out tomorrow. I like the way that these look. They're definitely gonna have to grow on me. But that white looks good on the black though. The bar's a little better now in the daylight. I think they came out pretty good actually. But the welder started doing something weird. Not sure what it started doing. Before I get into welding the rest of these though, y'all look at the fitment on this. You can see, yeah, a little better like that. Just ever so slightly, little bitty tiny gap between the side of the car and the pipe. And if you come to this side, see, ever so slightly little gap. It's crazy how close that is. But they both came out perfect on being exactly where they needed to be. Both are exactly like 2 1/4. Measured from the distance from this to the bar, and both sides are the exact same. Let's get these things the rest of the way welded. Well, I ended up getting the welder to work a lot better now. There's like a little tiny spot on all 3 of those. This one's done. Been sprayed some primer on it. Don't look too bad. But I can't wait to see this thing go down the road. Definitely going to be starting on building the rest of this front end part soon. I can't wait. Once the front's done, then we just got to do the back. And taking this thing to get it inspected. Of course, I still need windshield. Going to put the dash back in. Need mirrors. Need tail lights. Headlights. Turn signals. Tag light mount. Tag lights. Seat belts. I think that's it. So we still got a little ways, but I feel like that's all a lot easier than trying to fab up all these bars, because this is taking a lot of time. Not even playing. Really stoked with how this thing's turning out. These bars are definitely starting to grow on me. I cannot wait to see this thing go down the road. But if y'all like videos like this, y'all make sure y'all go check out the rest where I started building the entire cage on this thing and fabbing it up. I think that's gonna do it for this video, guys. I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all have any questions, just let me know. See y'all in the next one.